Chris Hensley is a registered representative of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member of FINRA SIPC, investment advisor representative of Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Houston First Financial Group are not affiliated.
The Houston Midtown Chapter of the Society for Financial Awareness presents Money Matters with your host, Christopher Hensley.
Good morning, everybody. You're listening to KPFT Houston. I'm Chris Hensley. The time is now 11 a.m. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Continental Societies is an international women's service organization dedicated to improving the socio-economic and cultural welfare of an underserved children and youth. The organization was founded in 1956 and incorporated nationally in 1972. Our guest today, Bennette Davis, has been on the show multiple times now, and she is also part of Houston Money Week, and we will be discussing an event that they have coming up here on December 6th called Jingle and Mingle. So please stay tuned. Keep listening. We'll do a deep dive into the event as well as learn a little bit more about the organization and what they've been doing. So stay tuned and keep listening. If you are a longtime listener, you know we always reserve just the first few moments of the show to tell you a little bit about what's going on in the Houston and the Gulf Coast area when it comes to financial literacy. So we are here in November. We're actually at the end of November. Next week is Thanksgiving, and so we're already talking about December and Christmas time, and then we'll be in 2020, and then we will be in April, which is Houston Money Weeks. That is Houston's representation of financial Literacy Month, which is a national month to celebrate financial literacy. Houston's representation of that is Houston Money Week. I am on the leadership team with Houston Money Week, and so you'll hear me on the show many times talk about the different events as we get ramped up. Even in November, we are meeting and planning for April, so this is not that far away. Give you a good description, a lot of times I'll just kind of go into it and kind of improv my interpretation of Houston Money Week, but it's always good to kind of go back to the mission and for people who are just kind of getting to know it. Houston Money Week is a community-wide initiative to empower families and individuals with financial education. Through this collaboration and coordinated effort of organizations across Houston and the surrounding areas, including businesses, financial institutions, schools, libraries, nonprofits, government agencies, and the media, individuals of all ages have access to financial resources and ongoing opportunities. So as I read through that, what pops into my head is how this organization, this network really has grown over the past 10, 11 years or so, from a small group of organizations to every different entity that I just listed there having some type of participation. So when we say financial institutions, when we say schools, almost every school in the Houston area has participated in some way. That's HISD, that's University of Houston, that's Houston Community College, and I'm kind of smiling here because it says and surrounding areas. What is called Houston Money Week reaches up into the Gulf Coast, so that is going to be Texas A&M Prairie View. That's going to be Huntsville. It's going to be many surrounding areas in the Gulf Coast region where this has creeped and sprawled out into a major effort and a major representation of financial literacy. So we have our banks that are doing Community Reinvestment Act. We have nonprofits, and we usually will meet at the United Way. Our next meeting that's coming up is going to be in January, so January 14th. We are skipping December. That will get us into January 14th at 2. That's going to be hosted at the United Way. It is at 2 p.m. And I would encourage you to go visit the website, which is HoustonMoneyWeek.org. That is a dynamic website. Every time we get it, we change it over for 2020, or we change it over to the current year, and I'll encourage people to go take a look at it. But then I want you to take a look at it again, because as we get close to April, you'll see all of these financial seminars, workshops, classes come online as we get closer to April. And the main thing is that they are free. So that is we don't have very many rules, but one of the rules that we have is that there are no solicitations, and that all of the workshops and seminars are free and open to the public. We even have some of the nonprofits that are doing the VITA, where it is tax preparation. So as we get closer to taxes, I don't want to think about that, but we're heading that way into the tax season for 2020. If you're low to moderate income, you can participate in a VITA nonprofit partner, and they will help do tax preparation for no cost. So that just encourage you to take a look at that website. With that, let me shut up and get Bennette on the line here, so we can make sure we have enough time to maximize our time with Bennette. Bennette, are you there?
I am here. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to meet with you.
Absolutely. And so this is, I don't have a lot of reoccurring guests, but you have actually, is this your third time or so?
I believe this is my third time on your show.
So that's fantastic. That is fantastic. And the organization that you work with, that you're the president of the Houston Metropolitan Chapter, you are also a partner with Houston Money Week. You've done multiple events, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about yourself outside of the organization, so listeners can get to know you a little bit better.
Outside of the organization, I am a supply chain manager with a chemical company, so I keep myself very busy in that realm of things, as well as being a part of our safety team at our job. And with my job, we also do a lot of community service. So whether it's at work doing community service, or in my personal life doing, off the clock doing community service, that's something that I'm very passionate about. And working with children has always been something that is very near and dear to my heart. Particularly those children that are in underserved communities. And Houston being the third/fourth largest city in the country, we do have a lot of children that kind of fall into the crevices of that underserved population. So Houston Metropolitan Chapter of Continental Societies, we definitely want to do any and everything in our power to empower those kids and make sure they have the brightest future possible.
So I want to make sure I said that right, because I know you were the chapter charter member for Houston metropolitan area here, and I said that you were the president, but I know with a lot of these organizations things change. Are you still the president?
I am still the president of this chapter. Our presidents, our officers we can serve two-year terms, so this is my final 2 years as president of the organization. But bigger and brighter things, of course, we have a regional level as well as a national level, and I serve on both of those as well. So we are constantly moving in the Houston chapter, growing in the Houston chapter. We actually just had an induction of 3 magnificent ladies in the area. We're just going to add another level to the wonderful things we can do in the Houston metropolitan area. So, like I said, I've told you before, we're constantly growing, and being a charter member of this organization, because we were chartered here in 2004. So we just celebrated our 15-year anniversary, and we just make sure that we're constantly growing and adding people that can bring value to the organization as well as to the children that we serve.
I love it. So we'll get back to some more information about Continental Societies and how people can find out more about them. But let's talk about the event. And I have a flyer here in front of me. This is for the Jingle and Mingle. This is coming up. It's hard to say December 6th, but we're already we are getting in front of Christmas time, the holidays. We're there. So tell us about this event. What is this?
Jingle and Mingle is our signature fundraiser. That this is going to be, I believe, our 5th year hosting the Jingle and Mingle. And every year we try and add a different layer, make it more exciting for our guests that attend. And the Jingle and Mingle does, it's a part where people can come, they meet other folks, you have a great time, of course. We have entertainment. We have our headliner who is going, not our headliner, but our opening act is going to be Andy Hudgens. And he was actually, had a successful run on America's Got Talent for, I think it was the year before last. Very, very funny gentleman. And then our headliner is Mr. Rich Williams, very funny comedian. And this is going to be our second year having him. And I hope it could possibly be our last year having him as our comedian, because he's gaining quite a reputation. And this past summer, he actually opened for Snoop Dogg, and I had to text him and let him know. I said, yeah, I know you're getting big and grand and all this great stuff, but you still need to come back and do some work for Continental.
I love it. You're like, don't forget about us.
Don't forget about the little people, Rich. Do not forget about the little people.
Well, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So we've got the comedians there, and tell me a little bit more about that event.
Well, on top of the comedians as our entertainment, we're also going to have DJ. We're going to be at Ashton Oaks Event Center, which is on Willcrest. Beautiful facility. Parking is going to be free. We will have light bites, wine, and the Continentals will have a signature drink there, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So folks will be able to partake, enjoy themselves. We also have a raffle that our members are selling tickets for right now. Tickets are $5 per ticket. If you can't get in touch with one of our members, you can reach out through our website and contact myself. I'll be glad to give you tickets, because I think we're going to talk about the raffle tickets in just a moment. But we're also going to have door prizes. Some awesome people have donated some wonderful door prizes to our organization. So it's going to be something for the guests. You get a ticket when you come in, and you have an opportunity to get some pretty awesome gifts. Just compliments of Continentals and some of the folks that support our organization. And there is a huge dance floor there, so you cannot have an event like this, especially at the beginning of Christmas, without getting out there on the dance floor and cutting the rug.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So DJ Feezy, and we've actually had him as our DJ on several different events that we've held. Awesome DJ. He's going to be our DJ for the evening, and he's going to do he takes requests as well as gives us some oldies, goodies, and some current items. So it's going to be a great evening, fun evening, and definitely raising money to support our programs and our scholarships.
So I love it, and I'm going to give the website. And if you're driving, don't feel like you have to write it down, because you can. We'll also on the podcast notes we'll put a link to the website, and on the splash page there's information about this event, and I think it's connected to the Eventbrite as well, so you can sign up through that. But the website is for Continental Societies is www.csihoustonmetro.org, and you can't really miss it when you get on there. It's going to be a big red block on the right hand side. Now, I know anytime there's a fundraiser for a group, people are asking, what are you going to do with the money? What kind of things do you do? And I know last time you were on here, you talked to us about many of these programs that you were doing for the kids that were related to health, education, employment, and I didn't realize how much stuff you guys were actually doing. But can you tell us a little bit about what Houston Metropolitan does in the community?
I sure can. You mentioned a few of our components that we operate under: the health, education, employment, recreation, and then arts and humanities. In the community, we have several different venues that we utilize in order to push these programs through. Most recently, November 9th, we worked with an organization called World Youth Foundation, and we actually opened up one of our seasons as the Healthy Body, Healthy Mind program. And through that program, to the children, the Houston Food Bank came out. A lot of people don't know that they do a lot of community education on healthy eating and nutritional facts. So we hosted them, and they came out and they made a presentation on making healthy snacks for the kids, and they made a fruit pizza, which is pretty exciting. The kids really enjoyed that. And we also talked about an anti-bullying program, because the reason we put that under our health program is because how our kids' psyche, how a child functions during the day, where their brain is, if they're being bullied, how bullying affects a child is going to affect them health-wise as well. So we want to get that healthy body, healthy mind part of anti-bullying in there. And to wrap up our program, we also had a yoga instructor in there to come in and talk to the kids about calming breaths. Gave them some beautiful poses and things to help them throughout the day, especially in the springtime. They'll be coming into testing and the anxiety behind testing. Want to make sure we try and give them a good, healthy way to utilize, get rid of some of the stress and anxiety during the day that they may have. So that's one of our health programs. With education, we had a STEM program that we offered to kids, teaching them how to make paper airplanes with different types of paper, and had a little contest to see which planes flew best and why they flew the way that they did, and really trying to give them a little engineering lesson in how things work. So those are two programs that we've had so far this year. Of course, we're getting ready to come up to our art and sound as well as a recreation activity. Those are in the planning right now for our spring. So we are constantly reading to kids, creating libraries for daycare centers that are in underserved communities, and making sure we do as much to give back to the community as possible.
I love it. So you mentioned quite a few things there, and that was kind of when you came on the show last time, the amount of stuff that you guys are doing out in the community is huge.
Yes.
I've had, I think my last guest on here, we talked about general topics that people are interested in, and it turns out that finances and fitness and health were right there at the top as far as general topics that people are interested in. And if this is a concern and you want to help in this area, what better, one of the problems is by the time people learn healthy habits and fitness habits, it's the kind of the damage is done. And so why not start? What an opportunity to start at a young age. And you are out there getting on the front end with them and teaching the anti-bullying and the healthy body, healthy mind. You also talked right now about the education, the STEM stuff with the paper airplanes, getting people that's really career, employment. If you get them in the right mindset where they're thinking about engineering and that sort of thing, even if it's paper airplanes, it's pointing in the right direction. So I love that. The last thing that you mentioned there was the art and sound, and that is, you said that it's in the works. Tell us about that, because I know that has kind of evolved from when it started. For listeners who don't know what that is, can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
I sure can. Art and sound has truly evolved from a small gallery in the Heights area 4 years ago. This is going to be our 5th year hosting Art and Sound. But it is a program where we feature high school artists. Houston has a plethora of high school artists that are absolutely amazing. You would be each year, and I tell you this each time, I get astounded by the level of creativity and artistry that is presented each year. We actually put those pieces of art into a gallery setting for the students, and all of their pieces are auctioned off. The money that is received from that auction goes directly to the students. Why is that? Because they are the ones that created those pieces. So we're giving them an opportunity to get out there, present their artwork, as well as many of the students come to the gallery themselves, and they're there to talk to the art patrons and tell them what is their muse, how did they come by using the particular media that they are exhibiting, and to really just push forward the importance of art. the kids are able to submit art pieces in whatever media it is that they've created it in, and they love this event. Why do they love it? This is an opportunity. This is a stage for them to come out there and present their pieces. That is the art portion. On our sound portion, we actually had, this past year, we had an all-girls jazz band, starting with the age from age 10 all the way up to 16. These girls were absolutely amazing, and we're hoping to get them back again this year because they actually supplied the sound portion of our Art and Sound event. And we tie that in with Houston Money Week with a contest we call the Art of Savings. And kids are able to submit artwork pieces that represent what they think saving means, what it looks like to them artistically. And these pieces are actually judged and put in a place where we have professional artists that judge their pieces, and they get awarded first, second, and third place monetary awards. So that is another piece that kids really enjoy. So we're really trying to make sure children are engaged art-wise as well as understanding what money is, how to save money,
right.
which is a huge piece of that.
So I love it because this is grown from when it started. Started in the gallery. This is the 5th year now. You talked about it being 2 different pieces. There's the art piece where the kids are putting in whatever form of media that they want to put the art in. They're judged. There are cash prizes. Money always talks. So if you're giving scholarships or money towards the future and education, that sort of thing, this is fantastic. The sound. Having the all-girls jazz band. So this is kind of a complete program now where it's got the art and the sound for people who come in there. And then it is tied in with, I'd be remiss without asking, with the Houston Money Week. It's tied in with the art of savings. And so there's that financial literacy component as well. While we're talking about Houston Money Week, can you tell me a little bit about, for listeners who aren't familiar with Houston Money Week, can you tell me a little bit about your experience with working with Houston Money Week?
Our experience with working with Houston Money Week has been always positive. I gain a lot of feedback. We work very closely with Vanessa Reed, who is with Comerica Bank. She's kind of our tie-in to Houston Money Week, and she's also a member of Continental Societies. So she definitely understands that literacy, financial literacy portion of it. And we have been a part of it, like I said, the last couple of years. And with Continentals and the financial literacy part, it ties directly into one of our components, which is our employment as well, to which we're going to be doing in the spring. And we're going to start tying our financial literacy program to Houston Money Week as well. So we're trying to make sure that we get out there as much as possible with the financial literacy to high schoolers, to middle schoolers, to elementary schools. So just keeping it a very positive outlook so the kids understand the monetary part of what it means to have money and save money.
I love it. Yeah, Vanessa has been on the show before, and she is so there's a tie-in there with her as a guest. I think she's actually been a repeat guest as well, and the work that she's doing with Houston Money Week and financial literacy across Houston. So one of the things I skipped earlier, I was going to ask you about when we were talking about the Jingle and Mingle, was the raffle. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Ooh, the raffle. The raffle is something new that we've actually added this year. In previous years, we've tried to do the auction, and sometimes auctions work, and sometimes they don't always go in your favor. So this year, we decided to do a raffle. Our raffle tickets are only $5 a ticket. The items that are being raffled off is a fully stocked liquor bar. And it's all premium alcohols, and that is valued at $750. And then we have, for our guys out there and also our gals that love to keep a nice, beautiful car, we have a fully stocked car kit car care kit. And then finally, we have a travel packet for those folks that are always in the airport somewhere, or maybe traveling any type of way that they may travel. We have it's going to be include an air gift card, a gift card for Southwest Airlines, as well as some other travel packet items. So those are 3 items that we have on the raffle, and we're going to have quite a few door prizes that are going to be available to our guests as well. So when they come in, they get that ticket, they're going to be surprised if they win, because I think they're really going to be impressed with some of the door prizes we have.
I love it. I love it. So this is a unique way to raise funds for the organization. When it's a fun way to raise funds for the organizations. Working with many different nonprofits through Houston Money Week, we are in a unique position where we haven't done traditional fundraising when you think of nonprofits. In fact, Houston Money Week's it's a loose organization of nonprofits and for-profits, and a lot of the stuff that we do is actually funded by the banks, so they'll donate, and it's put us in a position where we haven't had to go out and do the fundraising stuff. But anytime you're working with a nonprofit, and you guys are giving scholarships away to the kids, there has to be a way for it to be funded. KPFT, the radio station we're on right now, we're volunteer ran, and we understand that you have to go out there and you have to raise funds. This is a unique way that you can go and support this organization, go out and see the comedians. You can dance. There's actually a raffle with things that you can take home if you win. So this is sounding pretty good, and that's what I kind of like about all the events that you guys do. They're unique. But there's always something. There's a nice theme, and they're unique, and it's always a good time, as well as being able to support the cause and what you guys are doing out there.
Most definitely. And being in a city like Houston that is so diverse and so creative, we have to keep coming up with creative ways of entertaining, as well as, pulling our patrons out there and making sure we get the best possible fundraising possible, because as you mentioned, we do give scholarships every year, and we have some amazing students that those scholarships help. So this is definitely going to support them. So we're looking to see everyone out on December the 6th.
I love it. Well, we've got just about 3 minutes or so before the show is over. What else have I forgot to ask you that you'd like to share with listeners?
You know something, Chris? You cover everything really, really well. So I appreciate that. But the one thing that I definitely do want to say is invite everyone to our website to visit Continental, CSIHoustonMetro.org. Take a look at our website. Look at some of the things that we've done in the community. And just FYI, our scholarship window is open right now. We are accepting scholarships for high school students that are going to college in 2020. So go out there. It is a fillable application that is online for all high school students in the Houston metropolitan area. So visit our website. Come out and join us December the 6th. We look forward to just continuing to serve the Houston metropolitan area.
I love it. Bennette, thank you so much for being on the show. Great way to end it as well. The scholarships, what I found with that is a lot of people don't realize they're out there, but you always have kids looking for additional funds to help pay for the expensive price tag that goes along with college. And so pointing them to that website, again, CSIHoustonMetro.org, there's an opportunity for the scholarships there. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's been a pleasure.
Have a good one. And you have been listening to KPFT Houston.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Money Matters Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, visit us on the web at www.moneymatterspodcast.com. Drop us a line on SpeakPipe on the right-hand corner. It will receive any voicemails, questions, thoughts, concerns that you have about the show. In addition to this, we recently launched a Patreon campaign. Click on the Donate Now tab to hit the tip jar and find out what Patreon's campaign is all about.